In the immediate aftermath of the June 2025 airstrikes, the message from the United States and Israel was definitive. The Allied forces claimed they had successfully neutralized Iran's nuclear capabilities, leveling the infrastructure required to build a bomb. But the dust has settled, and the reality on the ground tells a very different story. A recent investigation by CNN reveals that the strikes failed to dismantle the most critical elements of the network. Right now, a massive data anomaly haunts Western intelligence. 440 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium is completely unaccounted for. This missing stockpile creates an enormous intelligence void. The CIA and Mossad cannot verify where this highly volatile material is located, leaving them entirely blind to its status. To understand how a blind spot this massive happens, we have to look at how these systems actually operate. A nuclear program is a multi-stage supply chain. It requires mining the ore, processing it, enriching the material, and finally, weaponization. You have to break the entire chain to stop it. Let's audit the first link in that chain, the extraction of raw uranium ore. For Iran, this begins at the Sagand mine. Analysis of satellite imagery over Sagand shows zero visible damage from the Allied airstrikes. You can clearly see active diggers on site, proving the extraction operations are continuing without interruption. Once the raw ore is pulled from the earth, it moves to the second link, the Articon processing facility, where it gets converted into a concentrated powder known as yellowcake. The US and Israel did target Articon. The strikes caused substantial damage to the facility, hitting several key structures, but they failed to wipe the site off the map entirely. Damaging a mid-level processing plant provides only a temporary delay. Since the primary source of raw material remains untouched, Iran retains the necessary infrastructure to rebuild this entire link in the chain. The third and most dangerous link is enrichment and storage. To get to weapons-grade material, you need an industrial-scale operation, which brings us deep into the Isfahan nuclear complex. In the days prior to the June 2025 airstrikes, intelligence picked up an alarming movement. Iranian transport convoys, loaded with highly distinct blue shipping containers, were spotted on the move. Officials strongly suspected these containers held Iran's highly enriched uranium. The convoy was tracked driving straight toward the underground tunnel network beneath Isfahan. Recognizing the threat, the United States deployed B-2 stealth bombers armed with specialized bunker-buster munitions, aiming to obliterate that specific complex. The bombs decimated the buildings on the surface, but they missed the true target. The deep, reinforced entrances to the underground tunnels evaded a direct hit. Iran immediately initiated a cover-up. They brought in heavy earth movers to deliberately bury the surviving tunnel entrances under massive mounds of dirt and debris, sealing them off completely. By burying those entrances, Iran created a subterranean black box. Western satellites can no longer see what's happening inside, and international nuclear inspectors are entirely locked out. Because the earlier stages survived and the enriched uranium is safely hidden away, Iran is dangerously close to the final stage, weaponization. With 440 kilograms of material, experts calculate they could theoretically assemble a functional nuclear weapon in a matter of weeks. The massive aerial bombardment bought only a brief window of time, leaving the underlying infrastructure completely intact. The 440 kilograms of enriched uranium survived the strikes and moved entirely off the grid, becoming a subterranean threat that no one can monitor. The official narrative of a dismantled nuclear program clearly doesn't align with the intelligence. The world now faces a ticking clock, hoping to locate those buried blue containers before the breakout timeline expires.